loves, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have a new pick a card reading, and this one is a message from Spirit. Spirit really wants you to know this message. I felt Spirit coming through really strongly today, and when I was thinking about what pick a card reading to do, Spirit just kept saying, oh, we have messages to share. So if you felt drawn to this video, then Spirit has a message for you. And if you are new to these types of videos and readings, I read the tarot cards. I connect to Spirit of 100% pure white light to bring you information for your highest good at this time. And if you want to know a little bit about how this works, as you can see, I have 4 different groups in front of me. These are the different groups with different energies that you get to intuitively choose from in order to get your personal message from Spirit. So over here we have group number 1. This one has a piece of angel aura quartz on top of it. So if you find yourself drawn to group number 1, that's going to be your pile. Group number 2, we have a beautiful piece of opalite on top of it. So if you're drawn to this one, that's going to be your pile. Group number 3, we have this piece of peacock ore on top of it. So if you're drawn to group 3, that's going to be your pile. And then group number 5, we have this gorgeous piece of citrine on top. So depending on which group you are the most drawn towards, that is going to reveal your message from your spirit guides at this time. And there's also timestamps linked down below so that you can easily navigate through this video and skip right ahead to your personal reading once you find out which group you're the most drawn towards. I also want to mention that if you find yourself drawn to multiple groups, that just means that there are multiple messages for you in today's video, and you would go ahead and listen to both of those groups. So that is how this video works. If you need more help tapping into your intuition, a few different things that I really like to do is, for one, I either like to close my eyes and wait for a number between 1 and 4 to pop into my head, and then the first number that pops into your head without you even thinking about it, that's your intuition speaking to you, and that is the group that would be for you. Another thing that you can do is pause the video and guide your hand over top of each of the groups, sensing which one feels just like either hot or cold or magnetic, or you just feel a pull towards that pile. So you can just go over with your hand over top of each of the piles and just see which one you are magnetized towards. So those are a few different ways of tapping into your intuition if you're having trouble just visually tapping in. But yeah, that is how today's video works. Thank you again so much for joining me here for today's pick a card reading. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. All right, my group number 1s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about your message from Spirit. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so first off, we're actually going to start with our Astro Dice to get a little bit of information just right off the bat. So we have the Sun in Aries in the 3rd house for you. Ooh, the 3rd house can deal with making new friends, connections, networking, getting yourself out there, using your voice. If there's anything that you've either been thinking about when it comes to communicating more, expressing yourself, creative expressions, this could also be writing or talking or explaining things, teaching things, learning as well comes up through this. That is something that Spirit is saying, yes, do more of that when it comes to communicating, networking, getting yourself out there, connecting with other people or sharing information, learning more, joining a course, things like that. Spirit is definitely saying that that is coming through as something that is going to kind of brighten your soul more, or allow you to shine your light more, or even be in the spotlight. Okay, putting your voice and the things that you have to say in the spotlight, that is coming through. If there's any spontaneous little trip that you're thinking about taking as well, the 3rd house can deal with short little spontaneous trips, especially with the Aries energy. It's just saying jump in, go for it, stop overthinking it. You know, Aries is the sign that jumps right in. So Spirit has a message about jump right in, just say yes, just do it. Give yourself 5 seconds to make a decision, make your decision, and let's go. Because sometimes when we overthink, we can just tend to hold ourselves back And that is no bueno. Okay, our two tarot cards that we're starting off with is the Four of Wands and Ace of Cups. The Four of Wands is setting up a beautiful foundation, and it's also something to celebrate. So I wouldn't be surprised if something is coming into your life where there's some sort of like graduation or something to look forward to. Four of Wands is something to celebrate. So it can indicate engagements, weddings, graduations, buying a home. It can also indicate things around the home that are improving and getting better, and setting up a foundation. It can also be the beginning of a business, like opening up a business, starting a new venture. It's sort of like this opening and this celebration of like, oh, look at this next stage that I'm going into. Look at this next phase that I'm going into. So there's something here with a message around that. Also with Ace of Cups, fulfillment. I am also getting a message for some of you, just because Ace of Cups and Four of Wands together can definitely indicate like a committed relationship or going to the next level of commitment in a relationship. Can also indicate a new relationship that is very solid and very reliable. So if any of you have been trying to call that in, I'm kind of seeing like a social situation calling that in, and Spirit is saying be open to those things when you get invited to them, if that is something that has been on your mind. But besides love and all of that, I am also seeing like fulfillment and inspiration coming into your life. New ways of fulfilling yourself. The next chapter that you're going to go into, I feel like Spirit is really saying, let's focus on your fulfillment here, and focus on saying yes. Saying yes to new opportunities. Saying yes to where your emotions are guiding you. Especially if it feels exciting, if it feels good, if it feels right. Spirit is saying that that is a sign to go in that direction. We do also have the moon being reversed here. So one thing that Spirit also wants to bring up is sometimes stepping into the unknown can be a little bit scary. So if you are thinking about writing a book, starting a podcast, going out and networking, putting yourself out there, doing things even with social media can sometimes be the third house as well, occasionally. So if there's something that you've been thinking about, but maybe there's hesitation, or if there's a person that you've been wanting to talk to and network with or get to know better, but there's been hesitation, Spirit is coming through saying like, let go of the hesitation, because the potential that you have here with this thing, whether this is an idea or a person that is in your life, there is such great potential here. Four of Wands is something solid and reliable. It's something that we can count on, something that can be long lasting. Ace of Cups is something that is fulfilling, and it's new, and it kind of excites us when we wake up in the morning and we just feel generally like emotionally fulfilled from what this thing is. But again, sometimes hesitation can hold us back. And so Spirit's main message here is to let go of fear and hesitation and become a little bit more Aries and just dive right in. Yes, it is good to think about things sometimes a little bit longer than an Aries typically does, or the typical zodiac sign of Aries. Like the quality of Aries is to kind of dive right in without even thinking about anything. But sometimes it is good to think about it a little bit, of course. So I'm not saying to completely be naive, but I am also saying not to overthink, because sometimes overthinking can put us in this moon reversed stage where all of a sudden we start thinking about like all the things that could go wrong, and then it just holds us back from ever exploring something that could potentially be so amazing. So I wanted to mention that. Nine of Wands being reversed here as well. Okay. The Spirit wants to bring up different things in your past that might have kind of gone wrong, or things that maybe you feel like you've failed at before, fears of failing, fears of it not being successful, fears of a broken heart, fears of rejection. That's Nine of Wands energy, okay? Nine of Wands being reversed, I really feel like Spirit is coming through saying we need to let go of that, because like, think about the potential that you could have over here. Is it worth taking that risk? And when it comes to things like love, you know, so many people are like, yes, it is so worth the risk of putting yourself out there and at least finding out. Because, you know, if something does fail or something goes wrong, we will learn from it. And that learning can help us ascend better the next time. And it can help us take wisdom with us the next time so that we can do better, and that we now have more insight. We have more wisdom moving forward. So you still gain something regardless. And Spirit really wants to make that clear. You still gain something regardless. Whether you fail at it or whether you win at it, it's worth that risk, especially if it's something that feels right to you, which, based on the Four of Wands, Ace of Cups over here, this is something that does feel right to you. This is something that's like, yeah, this is worth exploring. Yes, this is worth going into. Yes, it is worth getting over those fears and facing this. And even though, you know, diving into it at first, you might feel nervous or anxious or, you know, all those different things, but that's going to fade away. That's temporary. Whereas the Four of Wands is something that's very long lasting. It's very positive. It's worth celebrating. It's something that we're going to take with us for a long time, that we can build upon even more. And then we also have Eight of Cups being reversed. I'm getting this energy like there tends to be this habit of walking away from something when it gets hard, or avoiding something that's difficult. This tendency to want to avoid difficult things, a tendency to want to avoid where we feel inadequate. But Spirit is really saying that, oh man, the potential that you have going on over here. And I love that Spirit opened with these, saying like, oh my God, you have something on the way that's like really beautiful. But we have to get over ourselves in order to fully embrace what this is, and to really get on that path. But it's right there. And I'm just like so excited for you to learn more about what this is. But let's go ahead and dive into some more cards here to get some more information on this reading. So my group ones, let's see what we have. What else does Spirit have to say? Ooh, those two cards are really wanting to come out. So we have communication. I'm not even surprised that that's coming up. Literally, we had the third house right here. And then positivity. If we just communicate, if we're just open about, you know, the things that we feel, and if we're honest, if we put ourselves out there, if we just open up, only good can really come from that. You know, even if we do get rejected or something, let's say that the worst thing does happen. I mean, well, then we know, at least, then we can go focus our energy elsewhere. But at least we know, and we don't have to just sit there always wondering, like, what if, right? So, communication. Spirit is really saying it's time to use your voice. It is really time to use your voice, put yourself out there. If there's an important conversation that you've been really feeling like you need to have, go have it. If you've been feeling like you need to write a book or put yourself out there, start a podcast, or, you know, teach something, learn something, network, make new friends, whatever it is that you feel like you've been being pulled to do in regards to communication and using your voice. Spirit is really, you know, giving the green light there and saying that this is going to be really important. It is going to lead to positivity. It's going to lead to expansion and liberation of this energy that's been sort of withheld, I want to say. Withheld because it's being restrained because of like overthinking and things like that. So yeah, I mean, Spirit is really given in this message of communication right now. I also really want to pull an archetype card as well and see what comes up for you. And we're going to look at the archetype. This is going to represent something that Spirit wants to mention within your energy, okay? So we have hedonist, light attributes, inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Okay, this is the embodiment of what Spirit is saying is important to embody right now. The shadow attributes are pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. So that could be one shadow attribute. Another shadow attribute that I'm getting is also denying yourself pleasure out of fear of rejection or fear of failure. That is coming through, just kind of what we were talking about earlier. But then, yeah, again, the shadow attribute that's being expressed on this card is pursues pleasure to the detriment of health. So is there anything in your life at the same time that maybe we are consuming in order to repress old emotions? Because a lot of the times when we get either addicted to constantly eating unhealthy food or like drinking, smoking, or other negative habits, or even consuming too much social media, overthinking, blah, 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 pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, right? That's no bueno. It's no good. It's, you know, we also have to focus on being healthy. Yes, we do need to enjoy the pleasures of life. But there's a balance. There's a balance between enjoying the pleasures of life, but also taking care of yourself at the same time and being conscious and aware, right? And then also indulges at the expense of others. For some reason, I'm feeling like that's going to be only relevant to a very small few of you. But yeah, indulges at the expense of others. So like saying jokes at the expense of other people, or yeah, you know, that can be taken in many, many different ways. So that might be something to look at. But the light attributes, so what Spirit is saying is positive, the positive aspect of the hedonist, and what we should embrace more of is inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Celebrate the good things in life. 4 of Wands is celebrating the good things in life, but we also have to give ourselves the chance to experience the true good things that are also good for our health. They're good for our expansion. They bring us to the new levels. They open up new chapters for us that are beautiful, that, you know, allow us to grow and expand as a human. So Spirit is saying to dive into that more. Let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. So any last other messages from Spirit here? Okay, we have withdraw. I'm really feeling like the reason why this is coming out is the message of not withdrawing from what you need, but also, oh, this has 2 different messages. Don't withdraw yourself. Like, it's time to really put yourself out there and not walk away when things get hard, and not avoid things that you truly do want out of fear of, you know, rejection or failure, all those other things. But at the same time, this is also talking about withdraw from the unhealthy things that you know. And I feel like you've been thinking about this like in the back of your mind already repeatedly, of like, I need to let this thing go. I need to let this thing that's unhealthy for me, I need to let it go. We need to withdraw from it. We need to remove ourselves from it. We need to stop indulging in the things that we know are at the expense of ourselves. We also have the card of reflect. Self-love is coming through in this one, practicing self-love. Also becoming the reflection of who you really want to be. So who do you really want to be moving forward? What do you want your life to be? And how can you match that new reflection? What needs to maybe change in your life to match that new reflection? Okay, and let's see. Any other last messages for my group 1s? We have the Sun card coming up. This has been coming up in a lot of readings, not necessarily from this deck, but from some other decks. And so the Sun, it's positive in all directions, whether it comes up upright, whether it comes up reversed. The sun is always positive. It always indicates the sun shining. And we also have the sun coming up in your astro dice. So the sun is stepping into your light, being authentic, being honest, opening your voice, allowing yourself to shine, not keeping yourself in the shadows, right? Not holding yourself back from what you feel really, really called to do in your life. This is time to shine. This is time to be authentic. This is time to take action. The sun is about taking action. And it's also about listening to your soul and what your soul is really guiding you towards. The staff is calling back your power. It's very similar to the Ace of Wands in tarot. It's inspiration, calling back your power, taking action, and really seeing the power that you have within. Giving yourself permission to, yes, I'm going to go do this. And I'm not going to wait until anybody else says that I should. I'm going to do it for me. And it's really taking initiative. The staff is like taking initiative. So that is what we have here as Spirit's message for you, my group number ones. That is what we have. Lots to deal with, like opening up your voice, communicating, really getting yourself out there, ending negative habits that have been holding you back, but also starting to pursue and move towards and take action towards those things that maybe we've been putting off that we know we actually truly do want to do. So that is your message. Thank you so much for joining me here, my group number ones. I am sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number twos, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about your message from the spirit guides, your spirit guides. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so we're going to start off with our astro dice here, and let's see your first messages. Okay, so we have Pluto in Libra in the 6th house. Pluto is the planet of transformation and metamorphosis. Pluto, you could imagine like the caterpillar going into the cocoon and then being born a butterfly. So although it loses its ability to be the caterpillar, it does grow wings and gain something even more. So it is a blessing. Pluto is the planet that removes things that no longer serve us, and it does give us a gift afterwards. So that is quite interesting. Let's dive into a little bit more of this. So being in the 6th house, this would be around your environment, your routines, your health, being of service to others, the different kind of like the lifestyle that you have. So there might be some sort of big transformation around your lifestyle that you are thinking about, or even when it comes to health. If you're wanting to make like a physical transformation for yourself, that is coming through. This could be like, you know, eating healthy, going to the gym, and like creating like a big transformation in that way. But it does deal with like physical health, physical transformations, and also transformations of your lifestyle and routine. It can also be a transformation in career. The 6th house can also touch on career. So it is the house that connects to Virgo, which is all healing, health, career, routine, environment. That is the 6th house. So there's a huge transformation there. This transformation is going to bring you more in balance, because Libra is the zodiac sign of balance. It is also the zodiac sign that's like flirtatious. So it's kind of like, it's ruled by Venus, and Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and money. So this is a transformation that's going to make you love yourself more. This is a transformation about stepping into your light, where you're like, oh, you know what? I'm really loving who I am. And it's connecting to a higher balance within yourself. So I am very excited to see what comes your way, but Spirit is definitely saying that right now you are going through this. This is something that I think has either been on your mind, or it's been something that you've even been working towards already. And yeah, Spirit definitely says that that's going to be really great, and that transformation is in the works. It's on its way. So yeah, the effort that you're putting towards that's going to pay off. And yeah. 4 of Cups is the next card that we have. Ooh, I have such a message for you. So if you have been trying to create change in your life regarding all the things that we were just talking about, but maybe you haven't seen results as fast as you were hoping for, and it either sometimes feels like you want to give up on it, or sometimes you might even feel down about it. Four of Cups is a reminder that the hard work will pay off. We do need to stick to it. And also, I feel like there is new inspiration coming your way. But we also have to, the Four of Cups reminds us of a really beautiful concept. Because in the Four of Cups, in the regular tarot, it's a man looking at 3 cups that have spilt over. He's dissatisfied with it. It's not giving him what he wants. It just feels like life is against him. But because he's so focused on those cups that he currently doesn't appreciate and are not bringing him fulfillment, he doesn't see the cup that is coming out of the sky that God or the universe is literally handing him. And it's the cup of his dreams, but he can't see it because he's so focused on what he doesn't want. He's so focused on what he's disappointed by. So a huge message right now from Spirit is it's time to broaden your perspective. It's time to stop focusing on the negative so much and, start to kind of look at what's positive. Even practicing gratitude, you'd be surprised at how deeply it can shift you and how deeply it can start shifting your direction in life. So that is a huge message coming up right now. Spirit is like, please, please, please start focusing on the good, because right when you do, you're going to see that I've been trying to hand you a gift or an opportunity or an idea this entire time. I've been trying to hand you your desire and the path to your desire and the know-how and the key to your desire this entire time, but you haven't been able to see it because you've been focused on the negativity. You've been focused on what's not going your way. And Spirit is like, things are going your way, but because you're looking in that direction, you can't see that things are going your way. And that is what the Four of Cups reminds us of. And this is literally the reason why I love tarot so much, you guys, is because it gives us these keys to life. This is literally a freaking key to life that comes up and shows us like, oh, our perspective has literally been holding us back. And that is something important to remember whenever we get stuck in those phases. We need to turn around, because right when we turn around, we kind of realize like, oh, wait, now I see that the key has been there the whole time. The thing that I've wanted has been there the whole time, but I wasn't able to see it or even grasp the concept of it because of, what I've been focused on. We also have Page of Wands. Okay, so right when you do turn your focus to focus on the positives, inspiration is going to come your way. Motivation. Page of Wands is motivation. It's inspiration. It's new ideas. It's an inner spark that brings us back to life, that inspires us to take action in a new way. It can also be a new opportunity coming our way that we're inspired to pursue. And you're also going to be able to liberate yourself from past judgments. Why am I kind of feeling like perhaps there's been some self-criticism, and which is a normal thing. All of us go through that sometimes, but when the Judgment card came up here, it just makes me feel like Spirit is saying you're going to be liberated from self-criticism. You're just going to liberate yourself from it through shifting your focus, focusing on what is good, focusing on the positivity, focusing on your future vision, because Page of Wands has a vision in mind that they want to achieve, and they keep that vision at the top of their head, and that's what drives them. That's what gives them that motivating force. And I really think as you shift into that, judgment is going to dissipate. You're going to be able to release yourself from that. And yeah, I just really feel like there's this big liberation. Judgment can also come up when we have a bigger, higher calling coming through, that all of a sudden, because of that bigger, higher calling, all of the other stuff that was holding us back before, we're just like, oh, forget that, because now I have this way bigger vision to move towards, that I no longer want to be that old self. Judgment is a shedding cycle. So if you also look at the regular imagery, it's these people that are rising from coffins and they're naked because they've just shed their old self. So they're ready to like be reborn. And that's kind of like the idea of what's behind the Judgment card. It's being reborn because we're releasing old past judgments and we're just becoming anew, which is so connected to our Pluto energy that we had coming out here. So let's see what else we have for you. We also have the Wheel of Fortune, so changing around fortunes. And I love that this card came up upright because it is talking about how this is a shift in the right direction. This is all a shift in the right direction. I also feel like if you've been doing work to kind of like bring in more self-love, Spirit is saying that that's working. That is working. Continue moving in that direction because it is working. Let's see what else we get here. Wheel of Fortune, I also feel like, okay, so there's a lot of like positive new shifts that are coming up, especially as you follow this new kind of way that's opening up for you. There's going to be a lot of positive shifts. I also feel like, so whenever the Wheel of Fortune pops up, it talks about getting lucky, but I don't really like to believe in the concept of luck because I don't feel like anything is really pure luck. I feel like it's meant to be, right? It's karmically meant to be for us. And that's what I'm feeling for you for the Wheel of Fortune. There is something coming up where it's just like you're going to achieve something that's like this nice win, this feeling of winning at something, this feeling of landing on a fortune, this feeling of landing on the right spot, this feeling of being at the right place at the right time. You are going to come across this. This is like you're on the precipice of coming across this. Things are on the up and up, okay? And you're going to be in the right place at the right time. And there's going to be something really monumental that is going to happen here. It's like a big transformation and it's going to shift your direction in life. Truly, I really feel like actually the direction in your life is shifting. It's a monumental shift. And this new direction is going to be so much more in alignment with who you really want to be. It's going to evoke so much more self-love, liberation, movement, action. It's just more inspiring to be on this path for you. And we also do have Page of Swords here as well. So it's a shift in your way of thinking. And it's almost this new plan, this new idea. And maybe you even have a slight concept of what that is already, maybe for some of you. But I'm really seeing like move towards the opportunistic mindset, because the more that we focus on the I can'ts or it won't happen or look at what failed before, here's the proof that it can't work out for me in the future, the more that we talk about those things, like the more that we stay stuck in that. So Spirit is really trying to talk about your self-criticism. That's coming through strong. Oh, I just want to get into this for a second. I'm sorry if this sounds repetitive, but Spirit really wants to make this clear because this is so powerful. So hear me out, okay? If you have been stuck in the thoughts of like, oh, it's just never going to happen for me, or, oh, it's too hard, or I'm not the type of person who is capable of this, or I can't because this. There's these self-criticisms, these self-judgments of like, I can't achieve my vision or goal because of blank, or because I'm blank, or it's almost this feeling, this unworthiness that you have inside of you of not feeling worthy of your ultimate vision. Spirit is saying that this is the thing that has been holding you back. This is the thing. And as you liberate from that, right? Because just like what I was saying with the Four of Cups, the more that we focus on those fallen over cups, such as the I can't, or look what happened before, look what's continuing to happen in my life, look at this, here's more proof that it can't happen. The more that you're looking at that, the more that you're not seeing the key that the universe is trying to give you. The universe hears exactly what it is that you want. The universe is sitting there waiting with the cup. If you need more imagery to see what I'm talking about, search up the Four of Cups and look at the Rider-Waite version of the Four of Cups. If you just Google it, it's going to be the first image that pops up. It's a man looking at the cups that he's dissatisfied with. This is you looking at all of those like reasons why I can't, all of the unworthiness. And as you look at that, you literally are being blind to the fact that the universe is giving you the path, the key, the opportunity the gift of what you've been asking for, but you cannot see it when you're focused on all of these negative things. We have to release the judgment. That is going to be what puts you back into the driver's seat. That's going to be what puts you back into this Page of Wands. Oh, I'm inspired and I'm motivated kind of energy. That's going to be what puts you back onto the Wheel of Fortune, where fortune is coming into your life. Things are moving up rather than moving down. But the only way to do that is to shift your focus. You need to start looking at the opportunity. You need to start looking at the how and the fact that I can. You need to start finding reasons why you're worthy, because as you count the reasons why you're worthy, as you count the reasons why you can, as you count the reasons why it is going to work for you and that you're just going to grab hold of all the opportunities and you're saying yes to yourself, the more that you look at that, oh my goodness, this is when the Wheel of Fortune, the wheel starts turning in your favor, in your direction, because this is a time to liberate yourself. This is a time to transform yourself from the caterpillar who can't get where they want to go and realize that, holy shit, wait, a caterpillar literally has the potential to be a butterfly. Right now, you've just been looking at yourself like the caterpillar and you're just like, oh, I can't get where I want to go. I want to get to somewhere far away, but I can't get there. I'm a caterpillar. Honey, you're a caterpillar. Go in your cocoon for a second. Do some inner transformation. Do the inner work. Shift your focus. Grow your wings. And bam, now you can get where you want to go. You've had that potential within you all along. It's about you seeing it. It's about you doing that inner work, that inner transformation to stop looking at the negative, start looking at the positive. Then it's going to shift everything for you. Okay, I'm going off on these cards right now. Let's dive into some more. Shift your attitude. Page of Swords is a huge reminder of shift your attitude. Shift your inner mentality. The swords deal with your mind. What's going on in your mind? What are the words shifting through your mind? Perhaps even listening to things like affirmations is going to be really beneficial for you and really helpful. But really like saying them out loud and believing them as you listen to them, right? Otherwise, they're not going to do anything. So we really have to feel it. We have to listen to it. Maybe even write your own affirmations. Actually, I find that way more powerful than even just listening to them. Sometimes it's nice to listen to them to get inspired by affirmations if we're having trouble creating our own. However, create your own, say them out loud, be like, you know what, I'm freaking beautiful. I am like so capable. We have the card Contemplation and Miracles. Oh my goodness. Contemplation. Okay, let's stop overthinking the negative and let's start contemplating the miracles. Let's start contemplating the positive, because that's going to be where you start seeing the opportunity. That is literally the secret freaking wisdom of the Four of Cups. Okay, I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards in tarot because of the wisdom that it has within it. So contemplation. Whatever you contemplate is going to grow. Whatever wolf you feed is going to grow. So if you keep feeding the wolf that's like, you can never make it, you cannot have it, like that's going to be what grows in your mind. That's going to be the garden you are nourishing and growing. But let's instead grow the garden of, I can, and I'm going to figure out how, and I'm so worthy of that, and I'm going to freaking do it. And it's not hard work because I'm inspired. It's not hard because this is what I want and I'm so motivated and I can't wait to experience that huge, beautiful thing. So I'm just gonna tap into that. I'm gonna tap into the miracle of it, and then I'm gonna have the spark, I'm gonna have the motivation, I'm gonna have the energy, and it's not gonna feel like this detrimental, huge amount of work that I have to do. It's just gonna feel natural. It's gonna feel inspiring. I'm gonna be excited to do it every day because I know I can do it. So yeah, you can either tell yourself it's easy or you can tell yourself it's hard. Either way, you are correct both times. It's whatever you choose to believe, okay? So we're also going to grab a archetype card here to get a little bit of information on some archetype energy that Spirit wants to talk about. So we have Advocate. Who is your biggest advocate? You are, by the way. But anyway, light attribute inspires you to put compassion into action. Ooh, shadow attribute, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. Okay, what have we been embracing? Have we been an advocate for all of the negative causes, like, oh, I can't do this because of this, or I can't achieve this dream because I am blank, or I can't achieve this because I am that? Like, you know, are we embracing the negative causes and embracing that victim mentality where we're giving all of our power away and we're saying, oh, I can't because of something external? Well, guess what? The external things, if we give them our power, they're going to have our power and we're going to be stuck. We cannot change. However, if we put our power back into us and we say, you know what? I'm not going to let that thing stop me. Just because that was a thing, or just because this happened to me, or just because I'm here right now, doesn't mean I can't get to where I want to go. Advocate. You need to become your biggest cheerleader, your biggest advocate. It's not about waiting around until everybody else sees that your dream is feasible. It's about you seeing it. You are the only person that needs to see your dream and desire as feasible in order for it to happen. Because other people, they're not the ones doing it. They're not the ones doing the action. It's you. So only you need to see it. You need to become your biggest advocate. You need to become your own biggest cheerleader. And that's going to be what gives you all of the energy, all the inspiration. That's going to be where your perspective shifts. And then you're seeing that the universe has been trying to help you towards this goal the entire time. The universe has literally been trying to guide you there this entire freaking time. But we've just needed to turn our head around, AKA shift our perspective from negative to positive, in order to see the positive things that have been trying to guide us all along. So yes, that is that. Let's dive into any last cards here to get any last messages for you. We have love and get wild. Ooh, so the love card, what sets your heart on fire? This is time to fall in love with your vision. And also love yourself enough to see that, yes, it is freaking possible for me. Yes, I can freaking do it. And nothing's gonna stop me. Okay? You need to set your own heart on fire in a good way, with love, with self-love, self-motivation. Get wild. This is time to get wild and break through those obstacles, okay? That is the energy Spirit is coming with. This is time to set yourself free. Let's not keep ourselves caged up over here, because this is what's been draining your energy. If you want to know what drains your energy, look at the Four of Cups, where the guy is sulking over the overturned, unfulfilling cups. The more that you focus on the things that are unfulfilling and that are not giving you what you want, they're literally draining your energy, just like the spilt over cup that's literally draining out. It's going to steal your energy. You are going to feel unmotivated. You are going to feel heavy. It is going to feel hard to move into the direction that you want to. However, when you focus on the fulfilling things, when you focus on your own inner worthiness, your own inner love, when you focus on all of the good stuff, that is a full cup. That is a cup that gets filled naturally, and that is a cup that has limitless energy. That's how you tap into that Page of Wands energy that I was talking about. That's how you tap into this heart on fire, I'm in love with life again kind of energy. That's where we tap into the get wild. I have so much energy to just move towards miracles and happiness and be my own biggest advocate and get stuff done and do that inner transformation. And then all of a sudden I realize, oh wait, this path is easy. Like, that is how you tap into that. Okay, I went off on a tangent there. Let's dive into one last deck of cards before we end this off here, okay? So any last messages from Spirit here for you? We have the Sun. This one just came up for the last group. That's so weird. But anyway, I love that this came up for you. This is embracing your radiance, embracing your light, embracing what's possible, embracing your authenticity, letting your light shine. The Sun is also a reflection of optimism and positivity. Let's dive into that and let's let ourselves shine. Whew. That is the message to end us off here. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. My group number 2s, I'm sending you all so much love. I hope you have a beautiful, amazing day, week, and year. And I know that you are, because look at what's shifting for you. Look at what's happening here. Like, okay? So anyway, I love you all so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, my group number 3s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be a reading from Spirit. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group threes, before diving into your tarot, we're gonna roll the Aster dice to get some information to start us off with. So we have Uranus in Scorpio in the 4th house. Ooh, Uranus symbolizes like massive changes and shifts. And the 4th house deals with our home life. Massive changes and shifts when it comes to our foundation and our home life and our sense of security. And when I say changes in regards to sense of security, I mean positive changes here. Scorpio helps us do a massive transformation, and it also helps us dig up what needs to be sorted out and what needs to be let go of. So when it comes to your foundation, when it comes to your home life, when it comes to your family, is there anything that we still need to like dig back up in order to kind of like sort out and balance better or clear out and heal in our family, home, or foundational life? So our foundation, the 4th house, can deal with our literal home, or it can deal with our savings. So our sense of security when it comes to our bank account and our savings. And it can also, again, deal with our family life. So the people that we live with, or even our family in general. Scorpio is signifying a sort of transformation here that needs to happen, or some sort of change that needs to happen in this area of your life. So it could be dealing with all of the above. Maybe we need a big overhaul and transformation in regards to all of those different aspects of the 4th house, or maybe it's just one or the other for you. But it definitely seems like Spirit is talking about a transformation and a big change when it comes to your home life. So let's see what else we get here for you, my group threes. Ooh, okay. So we have Queen of Cups, we have the Sun being reversed over here, and then the Spirit of Cups also being reversed. Okay, so the Spirit of Cups is also the Knight of Cups in regular tarot. Okay, so with the Queen of Cups, she is somebody who takes care of herself. She takes care of her emotional well-being, but she also takes care of fulfillment and making sure that her cup is filled. She doesn't like having an empty cup. She does not like being drained, and she very much focuses on what is going to fill me up. And it's so interesting that we also do have the Spirit of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups, being reversed over here, because one message that I'm feeling for you is that perhaps there's been this tendency to allow yourself to get drained, whether that be by other people or even in the ways in which we are spending our money, since that also relates to our 4th house that we have going on. Maybe when it comes to our savings, we just feel a little bit drained, and maybe we're needing to look at how we can better balance that area of our life. But it can also deal with our rejuvenation, our home life, and making sure that we have enough time for rest, rejuvenation, and relaxation, because that's also the 4th house, right? So have we been allowing ourselves time to rejuvenate, or have we been pushing ourselves in a way that has been draining us? Because when we feel drained energetically, that reflects to all other aspects of our life. So we're unable to give emotionally when we are drained. We're unable to give to other people in the same way that we could if we were fulfilled, right? Also, it reflects in our finances. Anytime that we're feeling energetically drained, it's going to reflect in our money, and we're going to notice that our money somehow also continues to get drained as well, because it's a reflection of your internal state. So I know that can sound like woo-woo and all of that, but oh my goodness, if you start like researching that and looking into that, it's always spiritually, it's a reflection of your energy. So one advice that's coming through from Spirit, and a message for you from Spirit, is, hey, it's time to change. It's time to make some changes, and it's time to really deeply look at our current routine, our current habits, our current way of being, and it's time to step into the Queen of Cups energy. It is time to nurture yourself. It is time to nurture your energy so that you can fill your cup and that you're no longer giving from an empty cup. Because we can't give from an empty cup, right? Like, that's not a place to be. It's so hard to give from an empty cup. So I think one of the biggest things to focus on is your emotional well-being. When it comes to other people, such as like other family members or people that you live with, one message that I also see coming through is creating better boundaries. Like, look at this bubble. It's like creating better boundaries so that you can also have time to be in your own energy and not feel constantly bombarded or influenced by the other people that you might live with, or your family if you tend to be around them a lot. So one thing that's going to be really important for you is to get time for yourself. Alone time is going to be especially important for rejuvenating, getting back into your own energy, getting back into your own element is something that I'm hearing, rather than feeling like you're constantly sort of living a life that you don't feel in alignment with. Because I am getting this energy by group threes. I tend to get this energy for you that you are a bit more of like a mystical child, or somebody who, like, you stand out, you're different, and you're kind of on your own path. But I also always get this feeling like you guys are the empaths. And I get that feeling in some other groups too, but it is a consistent thing with my group threes. The fact that we also have 2 cup cards here, you tend to absorb other people's energies very easily. So having better boundaries, which is also 4th house, having better boundaries when it comes to the people that you hang out with, or at least the energy that you pick up on from other people, creating a better boundary so that you're not constantly picking up on other people's energy. And one thing that I'll share with you here with our Queen of Cups, look at how she's like in a bubble. So you can actually wrap yourself in an energetic bubble. And I'm going to teach you how. And this has helped me since I very much relate to being an empath and picking up on other people's energy. So what you can do is you can close your eyes and actually visualize wrapping yourself in a bubble. And you can set an intention with this bubble that you're only going to allow in positive, good energy, and you're not going to allow your energy to escape and get absorbed by other people and get taken by other people. And you're also not going to allow in negative energy into your bubble and absorb other people's problems, thoughts, and feelings. So you can set that intention that your bubble is going to be that beautiful filter, that beautiful force field. So anytime before you go out in your day, if you just put yourself in that bubble, and anytime that you feel like you need to reinforce that bubble or make it stronger, you can just quickly close your eyes. I usually like to do a little movement with my hands, like around my body, as if I'm totally wrapping myself in that little bubble. Or you can even blow out as if you're blowing a big bubble and visualize it surrounding you, or feel it surrounding you, whatever works for you. But that will actually help protect your energy. So that's a little trick that I do, and I've been doing that for a long time. I learned about that one when I was really young, and it's like always helped me. So there, I share that with you, and it's so cute that it came up in this card, and it's like the perfect representation of that bubble. So that's really funny. Also, the sun reversed. So the sun deals with prosperity, abundance, positivity, optimism, radiance, shining your light. It also deals with rebirth energy. And the fact that it's reversed, no matter if the sun comes up reversed or upright, it's always positive in any tarot reading. But it's an indication that things can get much better. So Spirit wants you to know, like, things can go on the up and up here. Things can improve even more when it comes to your radiance, when it comes to your energy, when it comes to feeling more energized, because the sun being reversed, I'm almost getting this energy that you've been feeling drained lately. And this can even be drained because this also deals with abundance. It can be feeling drained abundantly. It can be feeling drained in your energy, all of the above. We need to protect our energy better. That's one thing coming through. Also, creating boundaries in your life so that we're no longer leaking. We don't have these parts of ourselves that are leaking, right? If we have a leaky cup, that cup isn't going to last us very long. And your cup represents your fulfillment, the cup of your energy. And when we're full of energy, we feel fulfilled, especially if it's full of positive energy. But we need to fix the leaks. So where do you generally get drained from? What drains your energy? How can we create better boundaries? How can we create space for us to fill up our cup? Because of course there's going to be things through the day that do take our energy away. You know, sometimes we have to clean and you know, maybe that's going to drain us a little bit. But what is something that makes you feel good at the end of, you know, doing that? What's going to fill your cup? Is it something that's like, oh, let me give myself a spa night, light some candles, cup of tea, face mask, give some time to myself where I am not going to think about my problems. I am not going to think about all the things that I have to do. I'm going to genuinely give myself time to just relax and rejuvenate because you deserve it, right? Doing that and making sure that your cup is full, when you go about the next day and you have a full cup, like, oh, your ability to just handle situations, your ability to get stuff done is just otherworldly after that. So Spirit definitely has that advice, is to focus on filling your cup. And then we also, oh, I love this. Okay, so we have, oh my God, these are the perfect 2 cards to show up, and they came up in the perfect positions. 10 of Cups upright, and then 10 of Wands reversed. This, I can't, because it's just so perfect. Like, we could put these in any order and it's still perfect, but I'm going to put them in this order. So 10 of Wands, when it's reversed, indicates us releasing, carrying so much weight, putting so much responsibility, so much pressure on ourselves. We need to release some of that. We don't need to have constant pressure on. And I know sometimes we get into moods like that. And sometimes even I get into moods like that where I can't relax because I'm constantly like, how can I relax more productively? Or like even when I was sick recently, I was like, how can I be productive during this downtime? And then I noticed that the universe was like, no, you are sick. This is time to focus on your healing. This is time to focus on your rejuvenation. Like, what are you trying to do? So then I was like, oh, right. I need to like let go of that. And I need to genuinely just relax. And I need to not think about all the responsibilities, because when I do that, I literally had a day when I was sick and I was thinking about all the things that I had to do. And I kept trying to do things, but I couldn't do it because I was sick, but I kept trying to anyway, but it just wouldn't turn out because I was so sick. And then I was like, wait a second. I accomplished absolutely nothing today because of how sick I was. But I also didn't relax either because I kept trying to push myself to do something, but it kept flopping because of how sick I was. So it was this beautiful realization that I just really wanted to share with you here today, because it's so interesting that when we don't have a full cup, or when we try to relax, but we try to do it more productively, or we try to like throw in other responsibilities, like it's like, well, we didn't actually relax then. We literally didn't relax, nor did we get really anything done because we have a drained cup. So anyway, hopefully this message can like help turn on a light bulb for you in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, so what I'm seeing for you is, as you let go of all of that pressure, all of that like responsibility, and you genuinely create more balance in your life. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups. This is one of the best cards in all of tarot because it indicates fulfillment. It indicates like things growing and becoming more prosperous. So if you've been having different things, like let's use the metaphor of a garden, and maybe you've been wanting to grow your finances. Maybe you've been wanting to grow new opportunities. Maybe you've been wanting to grow new things in your life. Have more fun, have more beauty around you, whatever the case may be. Whatever garden that you've been trying to water, the 10 of Cups indicates that we are overflowing with fulfillment, that it's watering all of our gardens and everything in our life is improving. That is what the 10 of Cups represents. We are overflowing with fulfillment, that everything in our life is getting watered and nourished and growing, and it's prosperous, it's abundant, it is flourishing. That is your key. That is the message Spirit came up. And I know, I know because I've been in this situation myself where I've like put so much pressure on myself to be productive. And sometimes I'm in this mindset of so much stress about how much I have to do that I'm like, no, I can't relax, because if I do, everything's going to fall apart. But the thing is like things are falling apart because you're not relaxed and you're not rejuvenated and you're completely drained and burnt out. So already things fall apart when you're drained and burnt out, okay? Yes, it might seem like in your head that if you give yourself that time that that, oh my God, I'm like not being responsible and I'm, you know, whatever. No, the responsible thing to do is to create balance. The responsible thing to do is fill your cup so that it's not some leaky hole and you're not completely drained and burnt out all the time. Okay? That way you get to this 10 of Cups energy where when your cup is overflowing, it is able to water all of your dreams and desires. It is able to overflow into all aspects of life and make all aspects of life flourish and grow more. Okay, so let's dive into our next deck of cards to get some more information on this reading for you. My group threes. Also, when it comes to like family, sorry, I still have a little bit of a cough, but anyway, so when it comes to family, expressing your feelings, for some reason I'm feeling like is really important. Expressing how you truly feel about them. Do you appreciate them, and do you tell them that enough? Do you really love them, and do you tell them that enough? Do you notice certain things? Like, what are your true feelings, and like, is it expressed enough? Because one thing that is also coming through is expressing that, bringing that to light. Right? Like the sun is like the radiance that shines, that expresses. So there's some feelings that need to be expressed here that I'm really feeling is coming through. This could also be honoring your own feelings as well, right? So how do you feel? How do you feel on a daily basis? How can we honor our feelings? If we are feeling negative or drained, how can we sit with that and honor that and heal that and come back to a space of fulfillment and, address those things? How can we navigate life better to create a more fulfilling, happy, serene environment and home life where we have proper boundaries and we're not always absorbing other people's energies? Because I know as an empath, like if you live with other people, it's like really easy to just take on other people's emotions and feelings, and it can be hard to be in our own space. It can be hard to honor our own path and our own uniqueness and our own, and that's Uranus, it's uniqueness. Honoring your own uniqueness. Taking time away to be by yourself so that you can be in your own energy. Okay, so it's a big message that's coming up for you, my group threes, is like creating boundaries so that you can be in your own energy if you live with other people. So let's see, what else do we get here? Okay, we also have letting go and we have solitude. So being alone, yes, that's exactly what we were talking about, is going to be so important for you. Finding time for yourself to also just be on your own, which I know can be hard when you live with other people. And that's a huge message coming through because your home life has been a major focus here that Spirit's wanting to bring up. It's so important for you to find your own energy, to rejuvenate your own energy, to do the things that you really want to do and not feel like you constantly have to, be absorbing other people's energy or, focused on them or all of that, or feeling like you can't be yourself when you're around other people. Like this is a big message that I'm feeling for you, is like taking time for you to be yourself, to pursue the things that you want to pursue, all of that. Letting go, okay? Letting go of the weight that you keep on yourself, the resistance that you keep on yourself, the pressure that you keep on yourself, letting go of that, letting go of the need to feel like you need to pick up all the pieces, letting go of the feeling that, you need to not ever relax and you need to do things productively all the time. Letting go of all of that energy is going to be so vitally important for you. And let's also dive into our archetype cards. We're going to get an archetype card for you. So Spirit, what is our archetype? Ooh! Group 3, your archetype is the goddess coming through, okay? So there's a light and dark attribute of the goddess. And of course, Spirit is going to be wanting you to dive into the light attribute more. So the light attribute is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So stepping into your goddess energy or warrior kind of energy if you don't resonate with the goddess. But yeah, so The feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. Getting back to the life that makes you feel good, feeling like you're the main character energy of your story, stepping into your goddess energy where you are the light of your life, you are the leader of your life, and the goddess doesn't like, does she feel like she needs to be productive 24/7? Does the goddess feel like she needs to uphold everyone else's wants and needs before her own? Does she put all that pressure and her weight on herself where she feels in a lack-based, setting or a lack-based life? No, the goddess, she's fruitful, she's abundant, she's sensual, she's fun, she's focuses on her fulfillment, and focuses on the good feeling, like surrounded by beauty, right? Shadow attribute, exploitation of the female nature and form. So that could be a direct message, but it can also be taken a little bit more metaphorically, in the sense of, so the feminine she nurtures. Are we over nurturing everyone else rather than ourselves? Are we exploiting our feminine nature to be productive 24/7? Because the feminine energy is not supposed to be that way, and all of us, no matter who you are, male or female, we all have a balance of masculine and feminine energy within us, but we tend to kind of live in a bit of a world, especially in the Western world, like in America, it's like really pushed to be productive 24/7 and take action 24/7 in order to be a worthy human being. And I notice a lot of women tend to have this lately, and we tend to move away from our goddess light, which the goddess light, she rejuvenates, she relaxes, she's sensual, she's fun, she brings beauty and nurture first and foremost to herself and then to others once she has a full cup. But she doesn't give to other people if she doesn't have a full cup yet. She focuses on herself because that way she can give to others when she's fully fulfilled, and then it can trickle down to everyone else. Right? But she always puts herself first, and that's why she's always fulfilled. That's why she's always in that sensual energy, right? So that is a message coming through for you there. Let's go ahead and dive into some more cards here. So my group threes, what else do we get for you? Messages from Spirit. We also have speak truth, so being honest, being real, like spreading your wings, speaking truth. So if somebody asks you something, they're like, oh, can you take care of this? Can you do this? Just be honest and be, if you don't have the energy or the time for it, be like, no, I unfortunately can't. So yeah, I need to prioritize blah, 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 blah right now. I need to prioritize myself. I need to prioritize, getting my energy back, whatever the case may be. Speak truth. Say no when you need to say no. And don't feel bad about it, because saying no, it's totally within your right. The pillar is setting up boundaries, strong boundaries that are going to help keep things in alignment, to help keep you feeling good, to put yourself in that, nice filter bubble to where you can be yourself. So couple different messages there that Spirit is wanting to just reinforce. And then let's dive into any last messages for you here. Okay, we also have standstill. I'm getting a message that sometimes it's important to just do nothing, and that's like totally okay. Okay, oh, that was a lot of cards, but let's do it, because maybe Spirit has a lot to say here. So we also have the Moon, which is stepping into the unknown, but also listening to your intuition. This is the feminine intuition, which I feel like you have a strong intuition, my group threes. Listen to your intuition, listen to your emotions. If your emotions are feeling like they need a second, if your emotions are feeling confusing, stand still, just sit with it. Don't try to force, don't try to avoid it, don't try to run from it. Let's give ourselves time to connect. It's time to see where we're at emotionally. The flow, getting back into the flow of life. Things flow better when we focus on balance. That's when energy is going to flow. That's when money is going to flow. That's when like ideas are going to flow. Eagle is when we have our sights set on something. And it is also seeing something way in the distance, like a goal that we have. And I feel like that goal is going to flow so much better. So there might be a goal that you have right now that you have your sights set on. That's going to flow so much better as we focus on our balance and our fulfillment. And then we also have Earth, getting grounded, getting centered, having some sort of practice that helps you get grounded again. Getting grounded is when we feel balanced, we gain clarity, we have peace. We're not trying to move super fast. We're just trying to move at a steady pace, one that is balanced, where again, we're focused on fulfillment and also moving forward at the same time. But Earth is not in a rush at all. Earth does not rush. Earth moves at a peaceful pace. That's the Earth element. It's slow, steady, but sure and balanced. Okay? So sometimes even like, who wins the race, the tortoise or the hare? The one who rushes or the one who goes at a steady but sure pace and stops to smell the roses along the way and all of that? We of course know that story. The tortoise is the one that wins, not the hare. So this is your message. Slower is better. Rejuvenation is the key to success. So that is what we have, my group number 3s. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group 4s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading from Spirit. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so before we dive into the tarot, we're going to roll our Astro dice and let's see what comes up for you. So we have Saturn in Gemini in the 6th house. So Saturn is the planet of discipline, of responsibility. The 6th house is our routine, our work, our health, our healing, our immediate environment around us. So, responsibility, Saturn, commitment. There's a message here about committing to your health, committing to a solid routine that's going to get you where you want to go, committing to your work, committing to what you need to get done rather than letting stuff pile up. And Gemini is the energy of communication. It is our mind, our mentality. It is communicating. So, and also planning. I feel like Spirit right now wants a solid plan when it comes to your routine, when it comes to your health and well-being, when it comes to your work and the things that you need to get done. That is your first message to start us off. And let's see what else we get for you when we go into our tarot cards here. I am also feeling like for some of you, there could be something with career coming through as well. The fact that we have Saturn and also the 6th house here kind of makes me feel like picking a career or figuring it out. So for some of you, if you're still kind of figuring that out, like this is signing a contract or getting an agreement or getting a yes for a particular career that you're wanting to go towards. So that is also coming through, and Spirit is saying to dedicate to the process, put your best foot forward. Yeah, and I feel like that's like has a good outcome with it. But let's see what else we get here for you. So my group 4s, what else does Spirit have to say for you right now? So we also have the Akashic Records coming through. Ooh, okay, so an interesting thing about this card is it's not an actual card in the regular tarot, but in this deck, it is its own unique card. The Akashic Records is tapping into secret wisdom. It's tapping into getting epiphanies, realizations. So for you, if there's been something in your life where you're like, I need more information to figure this out, or I want to find who I really am, what my deeper purpose is, the Akashic Records card indicates discovering more about who you're meant to be, what your purpose is meant to be, and also tapping into kind of like ancient wisdom, gaining more insight, and all of that. So if you've been on a spiritual journey to kind of like figure yourself out, or even figure out more when it comes to the universe and getting what it is that you want, and just navigating life in more detail and better, and understanding the world more, understanding your place in the world more, and understanding how to navigate that, all of that is coming through. And I feel like Spirit is saying that you're on the path of already figuring that out. And we also have the card of transformation here. This one is actually the death card in regular tarot, and it is reversed here. So there's something about resisting change, or not wanting to change, fearing change even, that's coming through, that Spirit wants to talk about. So if you are in a stage of your life where perhaps there's been fear of change, fear of losing control, fear of trying something new and then it going to shambles or something like that. If there's been fear of actually like stepping out and doing something different, Spirit wants to address that. Because Spirit is also saying that having a plan is going to help. However, over planning is a form of procrastination. Sometimes we can get stuck in over planning because we're so scared to take action and actually do it, that we get stuck in the planning stage and the over preparation stage, which can actually hold us back as well. So one thing that Spirit wants you to know is like, yeah, let's create a plan, but let's also dedicate to moving forward on that plan and putting in the work, because the 6th house with Saturn is about putting in the work, doing your due diligence to get forward and move ahead. So that is coming through here as well. Let's see what else we get. Also, I'm getting a side message as well. That some of you have a tendency to change your mind before actually fully pursuing something, or you might give up on something and change your mind and be like, oh no, I'm going to go in that direction instead, or oh, I'm going to do this instead, before you give something a true fair chance. And that might come from a fear of failure, a fear of rejection, or a fear that, you still don't know what it is that you actually want. But the thing is nothing is ever going to come to fruition. Nothing is ever going to be successful until we fully dedicate, Saturn, the planet of dedication, till we fully dedicate to that path. Maybe there's some sort of transformation that you're wanting to make in your life. Maybe you're really wanting to reach success or reach some sort of personal transformation, but we keep quitting before we're actually ahead. We keep changing our mind and redirecting our life, redirecting our energy before we can actually see any result. We give up too fast. So another message here is to dedicate, to really dive in, to go 100% in on what it is that you want. Otherwise, it's never going to come to fruition. So it's a form of keeping ourselves safe when we change our mind too quickly. So yeah, that's coming through here as well. Let's see what else we get for you. My group 4s, what else do we have? My group 4s. 4 is also a number of dedication. It's also a number of success. So I feel like that's significant for you as well. But the only way to reach success is dedication, even when it's hard. Like Saturn reminds us that sometimes it's not always going to be fun. Sometimes we're going to have to take action even through the mundane days. Sometimes we're going to have to persevere and push through even when we feel bored and we don't feel as excited about the thing anymore. Even when we feel like, oh, it's really hard and I'm not seeing results as fast as I wanted to. Saturn reminds us that, oh, well, too bad, we have to keep going. If we want to see results at all, if we want to see results ever, we have to keep going, because if we keep changing our mind and starting fresh and starting from a new beginning constantly, I mean, we're also not going to see any results with any of those things. There's no easy way through. There's no fast way. There's no shortcut to what you want. And I feel like this is a reminder, like Gemini is also an energy of shifting and changing their mind. Gemini is a sign that changes their mind really fast and really easily. So that's also a message that's showing up, is like, in order for something to actually come to fruition, we need to not give up on it. We need to fully dedicate, fully go in, and we need to keep going even when it gets boring, even when it gets tough, even when we don't see results as soon as we wanted. Like, for example, when I started YouTube, like, I didn't have success right away. I was making videos for 5 years without seeing any growth, without seeing any results, without making a single penny on YouTube for 5 years. And then eventually I, had this epiphany on, I need to like make videos about what I'm truly passionate about, which is spirituality, that's what I've been passionate about my whole life. But I was like so nervous to even pursue that, because I was like, oh, people are going to be so judgmental of that path, because there's a lot of people that are, judgmental of spirituality and things like that, because I think it's just like woo woo. But I was like, you know what, if I'm going to do me, if I'm going to honor me, if I'm going to do what I'm truly passionate about, I need to just like get over myself, and I need to dedicate to that. And I also I was already dedicated to YouTube. After 5 years of no results, I was still making videos like every week, and sometimes multiple times a week. So like, that's a lot of time to be putting towards something without seeing any results. But it eventually led me to having my dream career. So when I look back, I'm like, oh, thank God I stuck to that. Thank God I never gave up on that. But there's so many people that would, try YouTube for like a month, 6 months, maybe even a year, and then give up because it doesn't go anywhere. But it's like, well, you might have had to give it a lot more time than that for it to become something. And how badly do you want the thing? How badly do you want your desire? How badly do you want success? Because if you want it bad enough, you're going to continue and not give up on it. Page of Crystals. It's so funny that this came up too. This card came up reversed for you, which, by the way, makes so much sense. So Page of Crystals is the Page of Pentacles. The Pentacles are when we dedicate to something, we have an idea, we're focused, we're detail-oriented, we're moving forward, we are slow and steady and sure. Page of Crystals, when it is reversed, kind of looks at all the work that's ahead of them, and they're like, that's a lot. And they kind of take a back seat, or they're procrastinating, or they're stuck in the forever planning stage of something, or they're stuck in perfectionism because they're like, oh, I can't do it because it's not perfect enough yet. Or they're comparing themselves to other people who maybe are already successful, and they're like, oh, well, my path and what I'm creating isn't as good as theirs, therefore I'm not worthy of this and I should just give up now. But the thing is like, of course it's not gonna be as good as theirs. You've been doing this for like a week or, a year or whatever, and maybe they've been doing it for like 10 years. I've now been on YouTube for 10 years here. Like, it's been a long time coming, and I've learned a lot in that time. And my videos when I first started were terrible, literally terrible. They're not even out there anymore. They're literally on private, because like, they're terrible. So the thing is like, you are not going to be perfect at first. But if you let that stop you, then you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to grow. You're not going to become that higher level if you don't just start, if you don't just put yourself out there, if you don't just start doing it. And that's what's coming through. Let go of perfectionism, let go of comparison, let go of needing things to be a 10 out of 10 right out the gate, because they're not going to be. And Page of Crystals reversed reminds us of all of that. Like, it's just not going to be that perfect thing right off the bat. And it's impossible for it to be that way. So we just need to continue on anyway and believe in ourselves for us to continue forward. We also have Four of Crystals being reversed. This is when we feel either like we don't have enough time or resources to invest into making it what we really want it to be. Maybe we're comparing what we have and we're like, oh, I don't have the nicest camera, therefore I can't film this video. Or I don't have the best lighting, therefore it sucks and I'm not going to put it out there. It's like, well, the only way to get there, the only way to grow and improve and attain those higher level things is to start from the bottom. We start from the bottom and then we get better, we grow, we climb the ladder. Like, my early videos were filmed on a much shittier camera and that's just the reality of it, and with crappy lenses and with crappy lighting. And but the thing is like, as I did it more, I learned more. Then eventually I had more money to invest into improving things, and that's how you climb the ladder, right? So I know I'm using all these YouTube examples, but that's just like what I have as a personal example for this. But this goes with anything. This goes with starting a relationship. You know, it's not going to be like, you're not going to know immediately, is that person like, am I going to marry them right off the gate? Or like, you know, we have to take time to get to know somebody. We have to take time for things to bloom. We have to take time for things to grow in order to know, is that the right path? We also have to be dedicated. We have to put ourselves out there. And that is the reminder of what's coming through here with all of these pentacle cards. We have to dedicate. We have to go for it. We can't get stuck in perfectionism. We can't get stuck in comparison. We can't, like, comparison really eats us away. Because let's say that you want to go to the gym because you're just like, you know what? I want to get into a good like shape for myself. And I want to like, you know, make myself feel amazing about myself. But let's say that you're comparing yourself to somebody who has like, you know, the biggest gym butt, and you're just like, oh, I'm never going to get that. Or like the thinnest waist or something. And you're like, oh, it's impossible. And then you just kind of like give up before even getting started because you're like, I'll never reach that. Well, that's just going to kill you. Comparison will like kill you. So why not do something for you, knowing that, yes, you are going to improve, you're going to blossom into your own freaking diamond that's going to be unique and inspiring on its own. It's going to be different than everybody else. So there's no point in comparing yourself to anybody else. There's no point in trying to strive to be like anybody else. Like, we can use people for inspiration, sure, but if it's from a negative place that's like holding us back or putting us down, we need to stay away from that. Because then we're just stealing our own light. We're letting something steal our potential of becoming something great on our own, you know? So like, yeah, this is the advice coming through with our crystal cards being reversed here. Let's see what else we have. Okay, those ones are wanting to come out, and then these ones are also flipped over. So let's just get into all of it. This is a lot of cards, by the way, but we're gonna go with it. Three of Crystals. This is a card that talks about collaboration. It's also a card that talks about getting feedback, but also constructive feedback. So anytime that you get criticism or anything like that, this is a card of taking criticism lightly, not taking it to heart, but also at the same time, it's a card that encourages us to learn from other people's feedback, to grow from other people's feedback, to also seek out feedback for growth, and using it to your advantage, right? So putting yourself out there, not being afraid of judgment, not being afraid of criticism, because instead it's like, well, let me embrace the criticism that I get so that I can improve from there. Just like going to the gym for the first time, like if you've never been there before, and you're like intimidated and you're like, oh, are people going to judge me? It's like, well, they might, but like, if I don't know how to do something and there's somebody else there that looks like they really know what they're doing, maybe I can just ask them like, hey, what's the proper way to do this? And you know, then we know, you know, we grow, and you have the right to be there. You have the right to be doing what you want. You have the right to pursue your dreams. Nobody can stop you from that. Okay. We also have Queen of Crystals. Ah, look at you. This is you stepping up into your light of getting stuff done, being productive, and then also looking at what you've created and being so proud of it. I think over time, oh my gosh, if you start now and you just really dedicate, the way that you'll be looking back on your life 8 months to 1 year from now, you're going to be like, oh, dang, look how far I've come. Oh, I promise you, you're going to be thinking that. But if you don't get started on it, and let's say 8 months to a year rolls around, you're going to be looking back and you're going to be like, oh my God, I just wasted all of that time. I literally could have been so much further ahead if I just started and got over myself and I just started that day. Okay, my love, I dare you to get started today, to take one step ahead today, to do something that you've been procrastinating on today, to take real, solid action today. It doesn't need to be massive, but do the thing that you're afraid to do. Do the thing that you're afraid, just do it. Just go and do it. Like if it's filming a YouTube video, film it and like put it out there. I mean, if anything, 10 people are gonna see it and who cares? Like, just do it. Just go do the thing. You know, if it's going to the gym, just go do it. And like, who cares if you look like you don't know what you're doing? Like, it's okay. Everyone learns from some place. Everyone starts from somewhere. And we also have the Empress being reversed here. I feel like you are like the Empress in creation right now. You have this new idea that can so come to fruition, but you have to put the bun in the oven. The Empress talks about, so she's represented by a pregnant woman, and the pregnancy indicates something that you are creating, a vision that you are creating, or something in your future that you are putting time and energy and effort towards, which could be a physical child, could be a physical pregnancy and baby, or it can also be like an idea that you have or vision for yourself, a goal that you have that's brewing. The Empress being reversed is like, we're delaying putting the bun in the oven to cook, right? We're delaying planting the seed in the soil because we're scared. So like, we need to reevaluate this and use that discipline to go ahead and say yes to ourselves. Your whole message from Spirit is like, let's say yes to you. Okay, I'm gonna go through these next 4 cards a little bit quicker here so we also have time to get into our oracle cards, but let's see what else we have. We also have Awakening being reversed. Awakening is the Judgment card being reversed. Let go of judgment. The worst judgment that we can have is the judgment of ourselves, or the expected judgment that we might get from elsewhere that hasn't actually happened, but we're letting it stop us anyway because we don't ever want to put ourselves out there for that. But let me tell you a secret. People are judging you no matter what you do. If you choose to do nothing and not pursue your dream life, people are still judging you for what you're doing. People are still judging you for where you're at right now. So you're just trading off one form of judgment for another. You know what I mean? Like if you're scared of judgment, rejection, whatever, other people's opinions, other people's thoughts. So would you rather trade off the judgment that you're getting right now, which you're inevitably getting, but you're comfortable in it because, you know, you're familiar with where you're at right now? Or would you rather dive into the thing that you actually want to do, where you're gonna find success, you're gonna see results, you're gonna move forward, and then sure, you're also gonna get judgment there, but like, at least you're doing the thing that you want to do, right? So like yeah, it's trading off one for the other. We also have the Magician being reversed. So this talks about your inner potential. You have so much inner potential, but when we're not taking action, we're not making our dream a reality. We're not making our vision a reality. The Magician is the card that is taking your thoughts and your vision, your ideas, and manifesting it into physical reality, which you absolutely have all of the power to do so, but it's about planting the seed, doing the thing, releasing judgment, releasing the hold and the restraint that you have on yourself, and just pursuing something, dedicating to something, again, even when it gets hard, because inevitably there's going to be challenges within it. It's going to be hard some days, and that's okay. That's like totally normal, but we just need to dedicate. We need to do it. We need to like be committed, and that's going to be what gets us there. Next card, we have Ace of Swords being reversed. So not getting stuck in over planning. Ace of Swords also being reversed is finding clarity, but also not holding off, because some people use this as an excuse. They're like, oh, well, my idea isn't fully fleshed out yet, therefore I can't take action. I'm not fully sure, I don't have all the details planned out yet, so I can't do it. But the thing is, it's like, you don't need all of the details yet. When again, I'm gonna use this example. When I started YouTube, I didn't know what niche I wanted to be in. I just started making videos because I just knew that I wanted to pursue that. But my niche changed so many times when doing YouTube. At first I started out making lifestyle videos, and then I started making makeup and beauty videos. And then I switched to spirituality. It's like, you don't need the full idea fleshed out before you get started, because the thing is if you just delay it because you're like, oh, I need to have every single detail figured out, you might not even figure it out because you need to be on the path in order to figure it out. right? Sometimes we need to get in the car to figure out how to get to the place. Like, we need to be already in the driver's seat. You know, you don't need to see the entire staircase before you take the first step. Sometimes it's impossible to see the entire staircase. Sometimes it's impossible to see the entire road ahead of you. But the thing is you do see the first 12 feet. So then you just keep driving, you keep going, and more gets revealed as you go, but you have to start going before you're going to see the rest of it. So Ace of Swords being reversed, just because you lack every single, like all the fleshed out details, that doesn't matter. That's not an excuse. We still have to get started because that's the only way to have the full vision reveal itself as we go along. Okay, so next card, King of Swords being reversed. Again, we also have a message of clarity and figuring things out. So that's sort of repeating our similar kind of message that we had over here. But again, we don't need to have every single detail figured out. We don't need to feel like we are ready, because there's never going to be a day where you feel like where you wake up and you feel like, oh, I'm ready. There's not going to be a day where you feel that. Every day is generally going to feel the same as the other day and every other day. It's just up to you of saying, you know what, I'm willing and I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm just going to start. And even though it's scary, even though it's mind-boggling, like, I'm going to figure out. And Akashic Records is literally a card of figuring things out. It's a card of epiphanies. It's a card of finding your purpose. It's a card of finding where you belong. It's a card of figuring out the universe and figuring out your own unique path within it and figuring out all of the secrets of the world. That's what the Akashic Records is. It's like all of everything. So Spirit is saying you are going to figure it out, but you have to get started to figure it out. You have to get in the car and start driving to be able to see the entire path. So let's dive into our oracle cards now and see what else we get. We already were diving into so much because we got so many tarot cards here, but let's see what else we get with our oracle. So my group number 4 is there anything else that Spirit wants to reveal to you right now? We have feelings and we also have solitude coming up. So I feel like there is times where you feel like maybe closing yourself off, but I really feel like coming out is going to be your key. I also feel like taking time to really reflect as you take action is going to help you figure things out more. But again, don't get stuck in the planning stage because it's just another form of procrastination. And feelings here as well, listen to your inner guidance system. What feels right for you? What are the things that you love? Don't let fear get in the way of the things that you love and the things that mean the most to you. I can say that personally because, again, I was so scared to actually do spirituality on YouTube because I was so afraid of the judgment that I would get from people being like, oh my God, you're all woo-woo like that? Like I was, right? But that was where my real passion lied. That's what my real passion was. And so, you know, I never considered it before, and I let my feelings deter me from that, even though I felt such a calling to it, but there was also the feeling of fear. So you have to get rid of the feeling of fear to see where it is that you really belong. You have to get rid of the feeling of unworthiness or that it's unattainable in order to fully connect with where your heart and soul is truly calling you. So let's go ahead and dive into our archetype cards. We're going to get one archetype card for you where Spirit is going to reveal sort of your archetype right now. That one's wanting to come out. So we have the card of Athlete. So the light attributes, this is what Spirit wants you to move towards more. Dedication to transcending physical limits. Let me focus on this so you can see it better. So dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps. So if there's anything in your life right now that you feel is like maybe an excuse to not pursuing what you want by saying like, oh, well, I don't have enough money, or my physical well-being, I get these headaches or these backaches or other things that are just like some sort of physical limit. This is dedication to transcending those physical limits. Development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. Ooh, That is what we're meant to step into. The shadow attributes are misuse of athletic ability for selfish needs or false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. So for you, I'm actually feeling a different shadow attribute. The shadow attribute that I'm feeling on your end is more of giving into all the reasons perhaps why we cannot do something. But the more that you focus on, there's always going to be reasons why you can't, and there's always going to be reasons why you can. Both exist at all times for all people regarding all things. There's always going to be reasons why you can, and there's always going to be reasons why you can't. If we are giving power to the reasons why we can't, then that is going to be our reality. If we start giving power to transcending those physical limits, realizing what we're truly capable of, which you'd be surprised what people are really capable of. Like, oh my gosh, if you could even tap into an ounce of all the power that resides within you, you are unstoppable. So that's one aspect that this card talks about. There are athletes that go beyond what scientists have deemed the physical limits of the human body, and there's athletes that exceed those and prove otherwise. This is a message that I'm getting for you, is to prove to yourself otherwise that you actually hold more power than you give yourself credit for. So, with that being said, let's go into our next deck of cards. I'm also going to restart my camera because it is about to cut out. All right, we are back. Let's see. Any last cards? We have release. So release yourself from the cage that you have yourself in is the first and foremost message that I get there. Also releasing inhibitions, releasing fears, releasing any sort of like hold that you currently feel is on you. Oh, those cards just like flew out of my hand, but maybe that's spirit wanting to say something. So we have surrender. And then the other card is paradox. I think that you're going to be so surprised at what you're truly capable of. I think the truth is going to be surprising to you about what you're truly capable of. Also, surrender is like, let's let go of all the things that are outside of our control. Let's focus on what is in our control, and let's do it. And guess what's in your control? You. What you decide to do, your action, and what you do with yourself. That's what you are in control of. No, we might not be in control of the external things that we cannot change. That's okay. We don't need to change them. You just need to change yourself so that your ability to overcome them is, that's just your ability. You have the ability to overcome them. You have the ability to change yourself. You have the ability to overcome anything that is standing in your way. Okay? So, diving into our last deck of cards here, let's see any last messages for my group fours. What is our last message? Let's see here. Group 4. Okay. Oof. That's a lot of cards, but let's do it. We just have a lot of cards coming out for you, and it's been like a freaking reading here, you know, like this has been like, ooh. So we have the serpent. The serpent can sometimes indicate a Kundalini awakening, which is like a time of enlightenment, a time of epiphanies, realizations. The serpent can also indicate our fears, such as fearing that we're going to get bit in the butt. But the thing is like, is it like, what do you want in life? Because there's always going to be some sort of like caveat to everything. If we decide to stay where we are, where we're not very happy with it, that's the caveat. We're getting bit by living a life that we're not super satisfied with. Or would we rather pursue what we really want, and then maybe there's judgment, maybe there's rejection along that path, maybe there's challenges along that path. Which end are we choosing to be on? Because as you can see, it's a double-headed thing. Which path would we rather choose? We also have Wild Woman. So this is getting into that feeling of freedom, realizing that you have the freedom to create what you want. You have that freedom. Stepping into your wilderness energy of, let me be free, let me free myself. We also have the Seer. The seer is one who uses their intuition to see into the future, or they even use the power of visualization to see what it is that they want, to gain clarity on that. And I really feel like your vision is going to gain more clarity as you move towards it and as you dedicate more towards it. We also have the Ghost dance coming through and the Sorcerer. One message that I'm getting from the Ghost dance card is like continuing to perpetuate potential realities or potential experiences in your mind, and we continue to kind of like play them out even though like they might not actually even happen. So like the Ghost dance, it's almost like we're dancing with a potential, we're dancing with an idea. Like, for example, when you're worrying about something, you're like, oh my God, what if this happens? It's almost like we're dancing with a ghost. Like, it doesn't actually exist, but we keep playing around with the idea. And that just kind of will inhibit us. We think that by doing so, we'll be like better prepared for what's to come and what's in our future. But the more that we worry, we actually just hold ourselves back and we put more pressure and stress on ourselves, which makes us less able to handle the problems that are ahead of us. And most of the things that we worry about never actually happen, ever. Most of the things. So what I'm getting for you is to step back into your power, step back into your magic, into your freedom, and choosing, what life do you really want? Would you rather the life where like, yes, I'm working towards big goals, or I'm staying where I'm at? Which one are we choosing? So more of your path is going to get revealed along the way, but we have to take action. And Spirit right now is absolutely giving the message of action and giving the message of letting go of comparison, letting go of this fears of judgment, all things like that. So that is your message, my group number 4s. There was so many cards that came up for you. I can't even believe it. That was like a big reading, but I love it. I love the messages that came through. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I hope it helped and gave insight in some way, shape, or form. And thank you so much for, again, allowing me to read your tarot. And I'm sending you so much love. And until next time, bye.